Hey everybody, DeRosa here, coming at you with another bolt action battle report. Today we find ourselves in the North African desert with the Africa Corps taking on the 8th Army. Today's report will be a 1,000-point match in which we played this scenario from Bolt Action Alliance called Kitty Hawk Down. In this scenario, on turn 4 a plane crashes somewhere on the battlefield. And for the last part of the game, the troops have to try to capture that spot and hold it until turn 6 or turn 7 when the game ends. Both sides were basically evenly matched, other than the British had their free artillery observer. Both sides had a medium tank. Both sides had 5 squads and a medium machine gun and a medium mortar. Here we see some of the British forces laid out before us. They had a Matilda tank, as you can see here. They had a mixed force of Sikh, Australians, and some British. Here's a close-up of the Matilda tank. They obviously both armies had a junior officer, as you can see there in front by the tank, and second lieutenant, and the medium mortar is displayed there with the observer. So it was a really fun game. The plane ended up crashing in the middle of the board, as you will see. Unfortunately, I did not bring my craters today, my terrain craters, which was unfortunate because we needed them. But we just used a template for the spot where the plane crashes, as you'll see later. There's the center of the board, somewhat of a fortress. We both sides just came on, sort of feeling each other out, not knowing where the plane was going to land until turn 4. So that kept us sort of guessing. So the British, as you can see here, slowly moved off their edge of the board. The Germans moved towards them off their edge of the board. And it quickly became somewhat of a firefight. Germans were able to sneak behind the building, but these Germans in the open took some hits. And it was a pretty bloody affair to start off. As the forces continued to make their way towards each other, the German player brought on his Panzer III between the building and the hill. And, of course, the British player called in his artillery piece to land right there where the German tank comes in. You'll see a triangular dice as a marker of that spot. And as you see there. So, fortunately for the Germans, or unfortunately for the Germans, I'm not sure, it took 2 or 3 turns for the artillery piece to land, the artillery shot to land, and the German tank moved forward, and the Germans just took pins there from that artillery blast, which came in about turn 3 or 4. So it didn't do as much damage as hoped for by the British, but they allowed the British to move up and get into the courtyard of the main center building. And that will allow them to actually capture the objective randomly at some point. For the next few rounds, both teams just got into position trying to see where the plane was going to land. And as you'll see here, I'll let the music play while that's happening. Okay, picking back up, we see that the British have moved into the house and the courtyard of the main building, which stopped the Germans from entering that window and was pretty critical at the end of the game, as you will see. The artillery piece landed in for the British, but again, it put just pins onto the German troops and the tank, which did not stop it from its final goal. Germans moving forward here on the right, German right flank, the center of the British moving forward. And so on turn 4, the plane came in and crashed, and you'll see it crashes right down in the middle of this team right here in the middle of the courtyard, which took a heavy howitzer hit and destroyed it, made them run away, which the German player thought, wow, okay, now the objective's cleared off. We just have to get in there to get it, which the wall barrier made a huge problem. So that you'll see at the end here, the German player will ram his Panzer III through the walls, trying to get a hole for his troops to get into. But unfortunately, the tank was on one side and the Germans were on the other, troop infantry. Here is the landing spot of the airplane. Crashed. The Kitty Hawk crashed right there. We used the larger circle template for the spot. You can see my left flank Germans were taking lots of hits and couldn't move forward. And so that just stalled my momentum over there, the German momentum over there. Here we see the German tank shaking off the artillery hit and moving into the wall. All right. Germans were able to put pins on the Matilda, which just put it out of commission. We have some close combat here in which the Germans were able to run around the edge of the hill and shoot the British and make them run away. This British troops got out in the open and got killed and wiped out. So it looked like for a moment that the Germans had a chance. But again, the German tank was going to try to charge through the center walls and was not able to get through both barriers. The German fell short by a few inches, leading to a British victory. All right. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please let us know what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you at the tables.